Today is a short primer and history on the backrooms photo. If anybody's curious, I thought I'd make a short video for it. 807 and 811 Oregon Street, OSHKOSH, Wisconsin, was, in total, Rohner's furniture, containing like IKEA-like locations and box rooms and fake rooms containing furniture for setting the scene for you to buy your furniture. Occupied both buildings for much of the 20th century until they closed down in 1994. Hobbytown was moved to a new location and decided to buy 807 address in 2002. During renovations from what it was, which is what the picture is of, to what it would be, they took many photos, including the picture on the second floor of the 807 address. This one's designated having a specific ID code or name to it, and it was DSC00161.jpg. This image was taken in the year 2002, June 12th at 8:21 a.m. and 13 seconds, according to the file data. It was part of the renovations, and since 7 months later, March 2nd, 2003, it was uploaded to their website, Hobbytown, OSHKOSH, as a blog post about the renovations. The original view it's listed as the original view of the East Oval Room. Notice no windows are visible. You cannot see the picture in the pictures the extent of the water damage. But it was there, requiring all of this material to come out. The renovations were complete by 2004, and that was the same year archive.org archived it July 2nd at 8:55 a.m. and 56 seconds in 2004, which is the backup copy we have to work with. And at one time I have a video up where archive.org obeyed the little voices using the robots.txt thing. I'll tell you about that in a minute if I have time. And decided to erase this piece of internet history for no real good reason at all. Location of the file was hobbytownoshkosh.com/DSC00161.jpg. Straight up, just that's the way it was. If you did OSHKOSH, hobbytownoshkosh.com :80 for port 80 / you'll find it a little bit differently or easier. The raw file information will be in this video. But anyway, Fabulous Finds, another company, bought the 811 address in 2010. Hobbytown remained at 807 address, and the backrooms room is now an RC racetrack with an entirely different layout and is unrecognizable except at one point for the tiled ceiling pattern. ISO 190, f-stop or f number 2.8, 640 by 480, 0.3 megapixel is what that's usually called. 6.1 focal length, 72 DPI, max aperture of 3, SONY CYBERSHOT, nothing else. There's no model or make or year for the camera used, and it's been listed as various versions of the DSC series of cameras. The one it's most likely, and is attributed to by the people who took the photo, is the DSC S50. That was a camera that had its own 2-inch flip-up screen and could do all sorts of things. That'll be listed below. In the year 2011 or later, the photo started circulating on various message boards, probably because of someone looking up one of the keywords and finding it with Google giving an image search response. So it was still a live copy of the image, at least up until, let's say, 2010, 2011. 2019, May 12th, at about 6:37 a.m., 4chan X paranormal themed board, an anonymous user used the photo to start a thread of post disquieting images that just feel off. But it was just a copy of the photo. No creative act was done to add to this, is a presumption I'm going to use now. A while later, the next day, another user replied to the post calling the image the backrooms and saying, "If you're not careful, and you no clip out of reality in the wrong areas, you'll end up in the back rooms where it's nothing but stink of old moist carpet, the madness of mono yellow, and endless background noise of fluorescence lights at maximum hum buzz, and approximately 600 million square miles of randomly segmented empty rooms to be trapped in God save you if you hear something wandering around nearby, because it sure as hell heard you. That's actually where the story came from. A single poster that is fully considered anonymous, although people have had a name attributed to it, and we probably know who the author is. All work after that point from a basically abandoned story is derivative and is not able to be claimed under copyright unless you create your own version of it, and that has a copyright to it. You can look up the Wikipedia wiki page for the backrooms, etc. And that concludes our video for the most part. And now I'm going to bring up a couple of things here. This will be partially a rant. At one point, I made a video where I pointed out that archive.org, for a stupid reason they keep doing, because they won't admit it's a stupid reason, period, full stop, for the effect it has, they erased the backup copy from archive.org of this image so that we didn't have it anymore. So out of spite, I went through and re-archived it a couple of days ago through Archive Today to force it never to be erased. Now, this is going to be based on something somewhat technical. If you have a website up, I have one, it'll have a file called robots.txt. All it does is it allows you to put in a setting that tells any search engine not to make backup copies of your page for copyright reasons. The strict interpretation, the actually interpretation of that text file's meaning in the computer universe, where people sometimes get very rules-based and very, you can't pock them, mate, got a license for that, that kind of person, is that technically if someone buys out the website later or just replaces it with a new website and just uses the domain name, if they put in a robots.txt file that says don't archive anything, one of the possible outcomes for an archiver like archive.org is to erase all of the old copies, which defeats the purpose of making an archive in the first goddamn place. This behavior problem has become embedded, because they did it again, in the way people do things. Because they say, well, if we've always followed this rule, we have to keep following the rule. Stop killing games, and the Fahrenheit 451 organization I'm part of, that I'm the head of, that I'm claiming to be part of stop burning books, is about the following concept. Unless you're compelled under penalty of prison or death, stop erasing shit if there's no good reason. If it doesn't cost you another penny, if it isn't going to make enough difference to make a difference in anything in the world, stop erasing anything at all. I understand that archive.org is an enormous backup copy of the internet, because it's literally its purpose. And having it have somebody somewhere act like a dumb bureaucrat and erase crap that some of us spent way too much time trying to find makes me irrationally, violently angry. And it should make you angry as well. I don't care if a small amount of money from every government on the planet that's run by people who aren't Donald Trump needs to go to keep them from ever erasing another fucking byte again. Unless there's a compelling reason, like it's illegal content or it's extremely dangerous or something that we can all agree on shouldn't be up. And even that, I'm starting to wonder if that can actually happen. Stop erasing things for a purely bureaucratic reason that at one time the request for comment, request for information, RFI, RFC, for this function of the robots.txt file from literally decades ago said that it should erase, it should prevent archiving. And then someone interpreted that as, oh, well, if they change it, that means all archives need to be erased. Somebody made that leap of judgment probably so they could get an attaboy at some fucking discussion in a corporate meeting. Why would you destroy something you already put the effort into making an archive of simply because a file changed a bit from a 0 to a 1? Because you had nothing better to do and you're an idiot. This is the hill I'll die on. The person, whoever it is that made that decision, I don't care if it's the original author, was wrong. Doesn't matter what your argument is. because the effect is you're erasing shit that some of us expended a lot of an obnoxious amount of effort to try to find. I'm one of the failed people. I didn't find it. The fact that it was found, and that for about, it was 2 months, by the way, apparently 2 months, this file was literally not able to be retrieved in its pure binary form. So I have made an archive of the archive through Archive Today, which everyone hates because the guy running it turned out to be an asshole and should be removed, and that should be an independent entity that cannot be corrupted by one damn individual. One of them gets corrupted by one damn assumption about a rule that has never really made any sense. And another one gets basically shit on, Archive Today. If you want to look up the controversy, go look on Wikipedia about it. Because one person decided to have a personal hissy fit on the internet and try to harass someone off the net by using Archive Today as a blunt instrument and weapon. This petty shit that humans do that literally has no positive outcome, that's garbage, is what's destroying us. Individuals with too much power? Maybe. Individuals with not enough self-control and not enough maturity? Definitively. My entire country is now being ruined by an entire class of people that have found that they want revenge for imagined harm that's been done to them that never existed, that they want to literally kill half the population in my country slowly because of the joy of cruelty. Archive.org, out of the joy of being pedantic and being extra bureaucratic, decides to erase parts of the internet because reasons. Another individual, again, Archive Today, run by someone who decided to pick a fight with someone for simply insulting them. Maybe we deserve to be wiped out as a species at this point. It's really true. Because we have way too many dangerous toys to play with and too many stupid people running it. The fact that objectively people like Donald Trump should not be allowed to drive a car, much less have access to the fucking launch codes. That reality not seeping into everybody's head worries the hell out of me. Yes, I'm blowing this out of proportion. It's a symptom of the problem. And that problem is us. We as a species are stupid. And if you go with that assumption and make systems and rules to prevent stupidity from destroying things, they fail to destroy things out of their stupidity. Frustrating every stupid asshole on this planet by making a bunch of rules that basically say, yes, you have to put on a seatbelt or you can't start your car. Well, that's an infringement. Make them do it anyway. Why? Because I want them miserable and alive for as long as possible so their torment lasts forever. Moo-ha-ha-ha. Or we reduce the death rate from car accidents. The outcome in this case is important. Your made-up philosophy about things isn't. Anybody who works at archive.org, I want them to publicly acknowledge that the auto-redaction feature that they keep accidentally turning back on is permanently locked out and can never be turned back on. They have never done that. Well, no, you're refusing to do that one step that would make it to where you're literally useful. Sometimes I think they leave it there because they want to prove to all the despots on the planet they'll erase things like Tiananmen Square massacre can be completely erased if you just bribe them or threaten them enough. Maybe that's what really did it. I don't know. Maybe they want to be consistent about it, so they just keep erasing things. But this is one of many things I've noticed happening over the last year that make me furious with the people who are supposed to safeguard our fucking history. Donald Trump will eventually have books burned in public. Because that's one of many stages. They're all the next stage. Just like Putin did in Moscow at one point for something. Or China did by literally murdering people in masses. And keeps doing it. This is the universe you're in. You're soaking in it. I'm sorry. But I'm going to complain a little bit. But hey, here's your primer on finding the image. And yes, I'll find some other place to archive it. We need one more archiver. Because now we have two that we can't trust for various reasons. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that. You will need it. Trust me.